Hello everyone and welcome to this video. While I color this page from Teresa Goodrige's Wish You Were Here, I'm going to talk to you about my coloring goals for 2024. And the idea from this video came from a video I watched on the channel called My Colorful Country Life, where she was following up on an adult coloring tag started by Jazzy Doodle Designs. And she was inviting everyone who's interested in sharing to also do the same. So I thought, well, why not? I have some goals, I can talk about them. So this is what I want to share with you today. So while I color these leaves, I'm going to talk to you about my goals this year. So there are 10 questions. Again, Jazzy Doodle Designs came up with the idea, so please go ahead and check her out as well. I'll put all the links in the description. And the first question she had was, do you have a strict coloring goal for 2024 or more loosey goosey? Mine are for sure loosey goosey, but I do have some. So I want to color every single month. What I want is to make sure I pick a couple of pages for inspiration every month and that I complete as many of them as possible. Next to that, I have goals for this channel. Specifically, I want to make sure that I publish at least a couple of videos every month. I'm aiming for once a week for every week, but I also want to give myself some slack in case I want to go on holiday and not worry about this, or I just don't feel like it one week, or maybe I'm sick. So I want some freedom there, not to do it every week if I can't. So that's why I said, well, I'm aiming for 2 to 4 videos a month. So that's a pretty clear goal I have actually. And what I want is just to share my journey, because what I noticed is I do enjoy coloring, and I just color for the fun of it, not for the content I create. But when I also have a video in mind, it sort of increases my motivation and I manage to color much more, so enjoy coloring more of the time. So for me, I've noticed they kind of go hand in hand, and I would love to just keep sharing this fun with all of you, because I also very much enjoy watching all the other videos that the creators put out there, and it motivates me to do the same. And whenever I watch a video from one of you, I also get in the mood for coloring, so I hope to do the same for someone else with my videos. And these are the goals pretty much. I just want to learn to color more and better. To come up maybe with more dimension in my coloring, or learn new techniques. I only started coloring last year in 2023, so I'm still very much a beginner and I have a lot to learn still. And this is also a goal I have for this year, in whatever I color, to experiment, to learn from it, and to maybe do it better and better the next time. Okay, so let's go to question 2, which was, how many pages do you want to color this year? I don't have a specific goal, but I want to do a couple every month. I let it up to whatever I feel like. So it's not a specific goal, but a goal I do have is to color hopefully the entire book, but if I don't manage as much of it as possible, it's one of Johanna Basford's books. It's called 30 Days of Creativity, and it's a challenge I'm taking on this year to try to complete it, or to complete as much as possible from it. So this, it's quite a few pages there. I think I counted over 60. That will keep me busy for sure. Question number 3. What coloring medium would you like to learn or improve this year? I've got quite a few, actually. I would like to get better at using alcohol markers just on their own to add dimension and depth, so not just for basing. And I also want to learn Poscas. I want to learn how to use Poscas to add those finishing touches and to add that dimension again to help me make my colorings more 3D with Posca pens. So maybe adding highlights, that kind of thing. It's something I feel quite shy about still. I'm afraid to use Poscas after I finish a page, after all the pencil work is done, because I'm afraid I'll ruin it basically. And yeah, I want to get over that fear and learn how to use Poscas to really make my coloring pop. And the next question we're looking at is, what technique would you most like to improve? And for me, that is layering with pencils. So essentially, I want to learn to bring more dimension to my coloring. And of course, the more layers you add, the more colors you use, the more lowlights and highlights you have, the more realistic it looks. I'm really inspired by Shel's coloring journey. I think the way she colors has so much depth. So this is what I'm aiming for as well. I'm pretty far away from that, but every time I look at something she colors, I think it's so beautiful. This is what I want to learn as well. Next question. What spending or collecting goals do you have? It's funny because I feel like I started coloring last year, and then that's when I also started spending and collecting many coloring books, many coloring supplies. And for me, this year is more of a year of using what I have rather than adding much more to it. Of course, here and there, making a purchase, or mostly I have a big wish list now. So on my birthday or a special occasion, I have what to ask for, and that's just coloring supplies or some new coloring books. But I don't want to spend a lot of money myself every month because my goal is not to accumulate even more supplies without using them, but use what I have and learn to actually use what I have. And I feel I've gathered quite a bit last year. So this is my goal. Use what I have as much as possible, which perhaps you can relate is a very difficult thing to do when there's so many books you still don't have, and there's so many supplies you could still have, and this brand and that brand, or this author whom I love is coming out with a new book. So yeah, and doing a no buy year is quite challenging, but I'm trying that. I'll let you know how it goes as the year goes by. Next question. What book do you most look forward to working in this year? I find that a difficult one because I've got quite a few, and also, it varies, right? Some days I feel like something more cheerful, and then I go for Rita Berman. Other times, perhaps I want something more realistic, and then I go for someone else, or more whimsical, or something that's just not in the realm of reality at all. But I think for me, I'll just go back to 30 Days of Creativity from Johanna Basford, and that's because that's a book I've committed to finishing. So I look forward to doing just that, and it requires commitment and it requires consistency. And that's not always easy to do. But whenever I look at that book and I see my progress, but also what's still to come, I get excited. So I look forward to coloring more in that. And next to that, really, Rita Berman. I just can't get over how beautiful her illustrations are. So that's a very close second for me this year. Next question we have is, what creative goals do you have? For example, do a live or a certain number of videos or body colors. Well, that's a good one because I've done exactly one live on this channel ever, and that was at the very beginning of it when I decided to sort of go live and show the pages I'd worked on a particular month. Maybe it was July last year. I don't know. That didn't go so well. So I don't know if I'm ready to try it again. And when I say it didn't go so well, I mean, I was happy with how I presented it, but I'm not sure it's the right format for presenting completed pages. And also, yeah, I barely had any followers, right? So who's gonna watch a live if you don't even know it's happening? So perhaps that's something I'll leave for next year or later on. For now, for me, it's important that I create videos consistently just to build up this muscle. And I've never done a body color, and I'm really interested in doing one and see how that is. So yeah, well, here's an announcement. If you're interested in doing a body color, please let me know, because I really love to do that. I've seen a few in videos on YouTube, and it looks like so much fun. Yeah, and I love to try that as well. Next question, number 8 is, what new to you artist will you be adding this year? And to me, that is Hannah Carlson. I know, I don't have a book of Hannah's yet. Well, I did just get one this year, so she is really new to me. I wasn't sure for a very long time last year if her style would be something I would enjoy coloring, but then I see so many beautiful completed pages from creators that I really admire and whose work I love. So I thought, if I really love their work and how they color, then I'm sure I would like it as well, or at least I owe it to myself to give it a try. So I'm looking forward to trying one of Hannah Carlson's books this year. She's definitely on my wish list for my birthday presents or other types of presents. Next question for you. Do you have a book you would like to complete this year? And yeah, that is Johanna Basford's 30 Days of Creativity. Now, really, I feel like it's quite ambitious for me. I'm pretty slow at coloring, and also I like variety, so not do too many pages of the same author or in the same book every month. It gets a bit boring and repetitive for me. I like to change things up. That being said, I have committed to doing as much as possible in that book, and I have been doing that. So I just plan to keep going, and I'll see where I end up at the end of the year. Hopefully with a completed book, but if not, no problem, because it's in enjoying the moment and the process and the experience of learning how to color. And I think, as no matter how many pages I'll end up having in that book, I will have learned so much from doing that. And for me, that's already enough. And then last question I have for you today. What is the best benefit of coloring to you? That's a good and important question, because we're all doing this for a reason, aren't we? And for me, I feel like it's in the joy of experiencing a completely different world that someone came up with. Let me give you Rita, for example. Like when I look into one of her books, especially the ones that focus on a specific continent, like Europe or Africa or Asia even, like you enter a whole new world. To me, like that's just a story waiting to be told, and it's a key to opening my imagination and really creating and enjoying. So it fills me with so much joy and energy when I color a page. And that, of course, it improves my mood, it calms me down, it quiets my thoughts. I think those are benefits we all know of. But to me, the ultimate benefit is just how enjoyable it is to enter someone's world and to inhabit it for a little while and to co-create, if you will, because they illustrated it and you're the one adding color to it. You're also helping to bring that world to life, and that feels like such a beautiful journey. And this is really what I love about coloring and why I keep doing it, and why it makes me so happy. So that was it. Thank you for listening to my story, to my answers to these questions. I want to encourage any and all of you to create such a video and share with us your goals for this year. And I hope you enjoy whatever you end up coloring this year and keep doing it more and more. Thank you. Till next time, everyone. Bye-bye.